got this bookie in Corona. He's skimming off the top.
I make Stefano too much money for you to do to me anyhow. While your stepping fetching run errand, motherfucker.
I might have an opportunity for you doing that work up in Corona.
That's a good look, brother.
I'm vouching for your friend here. Any mistakes, I'll be looking at you, Marvin.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to look for him right here.
White out in Howard Beach, ending me for 10 large, talking to me about how he a maid, so he allowed to carry that debt.
That's your business, not mine. Do what the you need to do.
Friend of ours just got fished out of the East River this morning. Boss of bosses from out here in Howard Beach.
He and Stefano could be about to go through some shit.
I don't suppose you heard anything about my friend who got fished out of the East River?
Nah, man.
And find out who's behind that. Somebody's gonna be wearing concrete slippers.
You loyal to your family? I'm loyal to mine.
Marvin talked to me about replacing you.
Hold up, Marvin.
Welcome back, Top Notch Gang, to another video. We're once again here in the aftermath of season 4, episode 8 of Raising Kanan, and the stakes are officially as high as ever could be. And in this video specifically, we got to talk about our boy Marvin. His mistakes are officially catching up to him at the end of the season. We got to talk about how his storyline, him crashing out, is coming full circle, and it's leading to Stefano basically giving Rock an ultimatum to choose a side to take out Marvin, eliminate him. We got to break down the episode 9 preview that we received, as well as the episode 9 and 10 descriptions, and also talk about what led to this point, what Rock, Marvin, the Thomas family is possibly gonna do leading to the end of the season, as war is on the horizon with Unique, and her choosing not to side with Stefano could lead to a alliance you see brewing between Unique, Snaps, Pops, and them brokering a deal between Stefano and Phil Russo. So once again, we got to break all this down, the danger for the Thomas family and Rock's decision. You guys feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts and opinions, but let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, to explain the situation, we of course got to take it back to the beginning of season 4. In episode 1, we saw an initial flashback of Marvin and Stefano making a deal between themselves. He needed Marvin to knock some sense into his son-in-law, I believe, because he was cheating on his daughter or something like that. But Marvin went, pressed the dude, beat the shit out of him, whatever, and he took the girl on vacation. So Stefano was happy with that, and they just continued to work with each other behind Rock's back. It was kind of like their little secret or whatever. So then that continued into the next storyline, where he said they had a bookie out in Corona who was skimming money, and he specifically told Marvin, hey, I don't want you necessarily to kill a dude. He was like, he's a big earner and everything like that. I just want you to knock some sense into him, give him some destructive criticism. But Marvin, he's in crash out mode ever since Gerald betrayed him at the end of season 3, and the dude was talking shit to him, so Marvin just killed him on the spot. Now, I thought this was initially the thing that was gonna get him in trouble with Stefano, but he ends up going to Early and using him as a replacement. Now, with Early filling in that spot, I thought the problem was going to be, of course, Early was connected to Unique. We know he was the one taking care of Unique when Unique was missing all those months ago, keeping him safe, everything like that, hidden. And I thought that's how it was going to come back to bite Marvin and the rest of the Thomas family in the ass. And that could possibly still happen, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be the case for now. So he puts Early in that new position with Stefano to be the bookie and everything like that, and Stefano lets him know specifically, if anything goes wrong, all this is gonna fall back on you. And Marvin says, okay, that's not a problem, I'll be here.
I'm vouching for your friend here. Any mistakes, I'll be looking at you, Marvin.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to look for him right here.
Now, with this taking place a few episodes later down the line, we then overhear a conversation between Marvin and Early, where Early is telling him there's this specific guy he's been trying to chase down that he can't get the money from, and Marvin's basically like, I don't care, nigga, do what you gotta do, it's your problem, handle it how you see fit, basically giving him the green light to take care of his business. And he said the dude was out in Howard Beach, whatever.
White out in Howard Beach, ending me for 10 large, talking to me about how he a maid, so he allowed to carry that debt.
That's your business, not mine. Do what the you need to do.
In the episode following that, in the conversation between Stefano and Marvin, another conversation they having behind Rock back, we're gonna get into that more later. He lets Marvin know that a close friend has been killed. He's from Howard Beach, and Marvin recognized immediately that this was possibly the person that Early took out.
A friend of ours just got fished out of the East River this morning. Boss of bosses from out here in Howard Beach. And no idea at all who did it.
We just got confirmation of that in season 4 episode 8, and Early said it. He said it like I just said. Marvin kind of gave him the green light to do this, to take out a big player.
Remember that guy that wasn't paying you? One that said he was all mobbed up out in Howard Beach? What happened to him?
You told me to handle that, so me and Londale did that shit.
No, nigga, please tell me you didn't do what I think you done.
You told me to handle it.
And Marvin even know this was going to be a problem that could eventually come back on him, because he explained that to Rock. Rock told him he was going to meet with Stefano since they're so close, let him know the product coming in, that everything is going smoothly, whatever. And Marvin let her know that shit might get shaky between me and him because of this mistake I made, because they took out someone that's close to his family. Stefano let him know that when he finds out the person who did it, they're going to be wearing permanent concrete slippers. I'm sure you guys know what that means.
Suppose you heard anything about my friend who got fished out of the East River? I find out who's behind that. Somebody's gonna be wearing concrete slippers.
And that now brings us to the episode 9 preview and episode 409 description. Don't worry about the title. The name of the episode is actually called Peekaboo, but it says specifically Kanan, suspicious of Rock's involvement, investigates Crystal's disappearance, but Rock faces fallout from Unique's retaliation and Marvin's mistake. And of course, we could hear within the trailer Rock specifically saying, "I'm gonna choose my family like you choose yours."
You're loyal to your family. I'm loyal to mine.
This lets me know that Stefano is possibly giving her a proposition or ultimatum to get Marvin up out the way. Now, pay attention to something specifically Stefano says, where he tells her that Marvin approached him about taking her spot, her position.
Marvin talked to me about replacing you.
Now, we obviously know that shit didn't happen. That's not how it went down. Stefano didn't want to go to war with Phil Russo, and we know Unique wants Rock head on the stake, so he saw that the best outcome for this situation was to eliminate Rock. And since him and Marvin, once again, they had a good standing relationship up to this point, he wanted Marvin to take that spot. Now, Marvin, of course, said, "No, I'm good. That's not a spot I'm looking for."
The best way to avoid bloodshed is to move Rock aside. And I think you are just the guy for the job.
That ain't a job I'm looking for. And that's not shit you should ever say to me again.
So he declined it, but now he's trying to pin that on Marvin to cause a further wedge between Marvin and Rock so that she's more likely to eliminate him. I don't know if Rock is necessarily going to believe this, especially because we know Marvin approached Rock about eliminating Stefano, about making a move on him themselves.
How we know Stefano ain't gonna make a deal with Jersey and fuck us?
We don't.
Maybe we gotta make a move on Stefano.
That's a big fucking move.
That's a big fucking problem.
So I think she should think about that in a sense and be like, he wouldn't do this, not only because I'm his sister, we're family, he never done nothing like this before, but he approached me about eliminating you. So we're gonna have to see how that situation shakes out. But what I think happens next is this mistake can also be referring to Early. Rock had told Marvin to take out Early and Londale because, you know, clean up your mess entirely, and Marvin didn't want to do it. He said Early ain't gonna talk, basically wanted to keep getting money from him for putting him in the whole situation and everything like that. But Londale was Early's cousin, and we know in the last episode Marvin killed him. Now we don't know how Early's gonna react, but once again he's working with Unique and they don't know, and I'm wondering how Stefano is gonna find out the truth about Marvin being involved with it, and it's only could come from possibly early. But would that put him in a hot situation if he does decide to snitch or go through with it? And I think that's where Unique comes into the picture. As we saw in the last episode, he had a talk with Snaps and Pop and said, since y'all close to Stefano and I'm close to Phil Russo, we could broker some kind of deal, some kind of peace, as long as we get Rock about the way. And now that could possibly include Marvin.
Well, I said, y'all cool with Stefano, right? Looking with Phil Russo out in Newark. We get together, we could broker that peace.
Now, this is where the whole situation with Rock making her choice becomes even harder, because there's a possibility that they're on the outside looking in once again, where it's everyone against them. Now, once again, I think she's still ride or die with her family. I mean, we've seen this kind of situation before with Marvin when he made another mistake and wanted to kill Tony Deep, the white girl who was messing with in season 1. So he got Sal Baselli's son, hired him to go on a mission, go to her house and kill her. And of course, they got the job done, but Sal Baselli's son ended up dying. So Sal went to Rock and said, your brother, we got to do a life for a life. And Rock was like, no, nigga, that's not happening. You not killing Marvin. And we know that started a whole war with that situation. So it looks like that's possibly gonna happen again, where we get another upcoming war. And at least my dude Lulu back in the game, back on demon time, just like he got get back for Marvin after the Italian shot at him the first time, he's gonna dive head first in when they come for his family. So I think the Thomas family ride or die for each other, but with one season left, is no way they all make it out this war, especially with so many people backstabbing. Snaps and Pops especially, they're doing some whole ass shit, but we're just gonna have to wait and see how it all plays out. A lot of people think Rock will betray Marvin, which is crazy to me. I think it's because of what Kanan has been saying. There's nothing Rock won't do, and even Jukebox within the last episode was starting to see what Kanan was talking about when she asked about their grandma Joey's and what happened to her, and Rock lied and said she was already sick and she just died, even though we know Rock killed her because she wanted to. She didn't have to lie about that, but Jukebox peeped that Rock, it kind of does what she wants. So a lot of people in my comments were saying that, hey, Rock will betray Marvin to keep the top spot. I'm just not sure about that. Overall though, that's it for this video. You guys can leave your thoughts, opinions down below in the comments. Stefano is gonna give Rock this ultimatum. She's gonna have to make a hard choice. I don't think the decision should be that hard in my opinion. Like she said in the trailer, family is family. Now, you know the way they cut these trailers up, we don't know if she's saying that before he tells her that Marvin tried to take her spot or after, but if he tells her Marvin tried to take her spot after she says family is family and that changes her mind, that would be crazy. But I just don't think that's the case. They're ride or die with one another, no matter how much fucked up shit they do to each other. They're not gonna let anybody come between them. I mean, Marvin, once Stefano approached him, he could have took the spot from Rock, and he was like, hell no. And Rock been running them ragged for like 4 seasons, just fully in control of all their moves, every part of their life, and he still wasn't gonna turn his back on her. So the Thomas family is gonna stick together through thick and thin, and they need to right now, because it's about to be them versus the entirety of Queens. Once again though, leave a like, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts, opinions, everything down below. But I'm out.